On our flight from Atlanta to Barcelona, we flew in DeltaOne, and we're going to give you the full tour of the lay flat beds, plus details on our gluten-free versus dairy-free meal choices. Hey! We're just getting settled in and I don't know what everything is yet.
Stand here for
Please hold. Let's check out the amenities. Shut up. Shut up, look at this. What a big pillow. What is it? Slippers. Ooh, pretty. They gave us nice headphones, but they are the two-prong, so they work in the entertainment unit.
We're trying to
there. But they won't work in my phone, so I still had to pull out my own headphones for my phone. Since we are gluten-free and dairy-free, we had to make some hard choices with the menu. I love this little bag. So these are made by an artisan in Mexico using natural and recycled materials. Such cool fabric. Oh, this one's made by Hugo. Love it. Soft earplugs. And a few little goodies. These are Grown Alchemist hand cream and lip balm. I like that there's not all the plastic that used to be in a lot of these kits. A lot more green. And a sustainable pen. Cheers! Nick just drank his sparkling wine without me.
No.
He didn't toast. What is even the point?
Gluten-free toast.
Gluten-free toast. Cheers. I don't even know what all these do, but it will definitely help me have a good night's sleep. Story time. I've never told you this, but 3.5, almost 4 years ago, I fell backwards off of a loading dock that was about 5 feet high into a parking lot. It was probably one of the worst accidents of my life. I didn't break anything, but I was really, really bruised. And to this day, I have a lot of tailbone pain whenever I sit for extended periods of time. So I did go to the chiropractor just a couple days ago to prepare for the trip, but I am going to do my best to lay this seat flat as soon as I can so as not to exacerbate it, because it's already a little tender today. So much leg room. They're doing the announcement in Spanish. Bienvenidos. Let's go to Barcelona. So our buddy here is our attendant who just confirmed our meal. Nick pre-ordered the gluten-free meal, and I pre-ordered the vegetarian, no dairy meal, which is different from vegan. It might have some eggs or honey, but well, yeah, there's that. But maybe there will be something we can eat
Between the two of us.
And if not, we packed a lot of snacks. But I'm excited to see what this holds. I was really interested that they had a vegetarian with no dairy option. Nothing on the menu was a perfect fit. It was kind of either or, so we'll see what they bring. But first, warm towel and beverage cart. It's meal service time, which is always the most exciting time in the air. Are you excited?
Of course.
Since we're sitting off of separate aisles, Nick has someone else serving his side and then I have serving my side. So we'll get a little bit different responses on the service as well. They started out with beverage service and offered some mixed nuts. See? Ooh, they're warm. But they do seem to have a bit of spice on them, and we don't know what that spice is or how to verify if it's gluten-free. I did ask the attendant, and he said, "Isn't gluten just bread? These are nuts, so you're fine." Huh. The attendant on my side said, there is a seasoning on them. I don't know what's in the seasoning. Do with that what you will. So I passed, and I don't think Nick is going to touch these, but you know, it's helpful to have the input from two different service folks, so you can kind of take everything with a grain of salt and compile the best of information. The gluten-free meal came with fruit, a gluten-free roll, a nice salad with artichokes and roasted red peppers, and Newman's Own dressing. And the dairy-free vegetarian meal started exactly the same, except the bread had gluten, so I removed it from my tray. We did ask for oil and vinegar, which was a better dressing option.
We got a gluten-free roll that we are splitting between the two of us, and we got a 100% vegan, gluten-free, buttery spread. It's going to make this very cold bread amazing. The bread is a little dense, but that's okay. There's gluten-free bread, which I was not anticipating, so that's fantastic. There's a lovely salad with it's tapas style.
Sir, you had requested the meat here today?
And then a fruit dish. I'm going to save my fruit dish for dessert, because who knows?
Honestly, the salad toppings and the fruit bowl were a really nice assortment. Let's see what they gave Nick for his entree.
I'm eating gluten-free.
What is it?
It could be a meatball, it could be a pork ball, it could be a turkey ball, it could be a chicken ball. I think there's zucchini. There's definitely cheese and tomato. It is definitely not dairy-free. That I know. I will say, even if all I get is salad, bread, and fruit, that works for us. Even that's kind of more than I expected. I don't know how I'm going to treat this. We'll see. What did you get?
Somehow I completely forgot to video my meal, but here's the brown rice with the tomato sauce that I got. I wasn't sure what the ingredients are, so I just poked at the rice a bit and stuck with the sides. I wish the crew had an ingredient list, but they couldn't even tell us the names of the dishes they were serving. It really was just their job to hand it out. I don't know why they chose such red lighting for dinner. I guess so those who want to go to sleep early can. Anyway, the dessert cart came around and every last item had dairy and gluten except for the cheese plate, which just had dairy. I wondered if they were serving those 88 Acres dark chocolate granola bars back in economy, because that would have been a better gluten-free choice. But instead, I just passed and Nick took the cheese plate and ate the dried apricots off of it. The time is now 8:14, and I'm so excited about having a lay flat bed in DeltaOne that I just want to go to sleep right away. And I am tired. I did go to 10 airport lounges today and run around a bunch of terminals, and I did have 2 glasses of sparkling wine. So I think I can go to bed now, right? I promise I really am going to sleep, but I have to tell you what just happened. Sorry it's all dark, but everyone's going to sleep. So Nick went to lay down his bed and it got stuck. It laid down a little bit and then wouldn't budge and tried to sit back up. We did this a few times and finally called over the flight attendant for help, and he tried a few times and he kind of shook it real good and said usually that gets it back on the track. And that didn't work. So finally he took the seat cushion off and tried to manually override the mechanics and slide it out on his own. And it was clear that there was something jammed in the track. And I feel like each time he pulled on it, it was just getting more jammed. And so Nick took the flashlight on his phone and shone it down the back of the seat and said he could see that there was an amenity kit stuck in the truck. And they got a hanger, and at this point we had multiple flight attendants like down on their hands and knees on the carpet, and it was so not funny but like intense, a little funny. But Nick definitely wanted his bed to lay flat so he could sleep. So no one could seem to reach it. And finally I was like, we shouldn't be going from behind the seat or underneath the seat. There's space between the seat and the seat back, and you can reach down in there. But nobody else could reach because their hands weren't small enough. So my dainty little hands reached down in there and yanked on it as hard as I could, and it did not come out. But it dislodged enough that the seat would lay down. And so Nick is now in his lay flat bed, and they gave us some thank you miles, and we got high fives all around. And I think I'm joining the Delta mechanical crew next week. Good night, everybody. Beverage cart with orange juice and coffee. I think it's going to be a coffee kind of day. I slept pretty well for the last 4 hours, but there was an hour or two there that it took me to settle in and get comfortable. And I thought I'm never going to actually fall asleep, but then I did. And now my watch says it's 2 o'clock. So 2 a.m. Time to go.
I think of the 4 meals that we've gotten on board, I think mine is the winner so far. Breakfast gluten-free was the winner. So I do have a second round of last night's fruit. I have a Foodie's gluten-free bagel. It's great. With the same Smart Balance vegan dairy-free buttery spread. And then it's very hot, sweet potato, poached egg, chicken sausage dish that I know is gluten-free, and that if there's dairy in it, I don't see it. So I think I did okay.
Got an assortment of fruits. There was last night's fruit, but there's also some extra peaches, which are kind of a nice variation. I did get a gluten-y bagel, so yeah, this guy in here is going to go right back in his little foil. But I have butter, so if Nick gives me half of his bagel, I'll give him some peaches. I know the peaches are part of the base that everyone else got on their yogurt parfait in the morning. So, no yogurt, obviously, if I'm dairy-free. So I'm assuming this is the vegetarian meal, since there's no breakfast meat, and because it was non-dairy, they just left the yogurt off. That is a dry bagel. I gave Nick some peaches, and he gave me one of his eggs. There's some kind of cheese on the bottom there. All the cheese seems to be stuck to the bottom of the dish, and the top of the veggies seem cheese-free. So we're going to have a few bites. So Nick said the chicken sausage is delicious, and this seems to be the basis there. So the word dairy and cheese are featured prominently in the name of this dish. All in all, not a bad breakfast. And importantly, caffeine. Okay, is this just egg? I take a chance. Okay. That egg is very cheesy. We really wanted it to be like a sous vide egg night, which should be mostly just egg, but it really is more of a custard. Very parmesan-y and very cheesy and light, which if we ate dairy would be delicious, but since we don't eat dairy, both of us took one bite and went, oh no, that's a bad idea. I've had both flight attendants apologize for the fruit with fruit, but the peaches are delicious. There's nothing to apologize about. I didn't even get to watch a whole show on this flight. I prioritize sleep. Hi, pretty picture. And with that, our time in DeltaOne was over, and we were ready to see what Spain has to offer. That was the easiest baggage pickup, easiest customs, beautiful airport, and we walked right out into the taxi lane and we're on our way to the hotel. And next time you see us, we'll be taking you around Barcelona. Please subscribe so you can check out all of our Barcelona adventures and the cruise that follows. See you next time, travelers!